Greetings, Internets. Thinker2112 here at 1731 Eastern Daylight Time on Saturday, the 23rd of June, 2012. And with me are...
AnniexoHoshi, Jennifer, aka insanefastone, aka one half of Father Spleen,
and the Heartless Nine.
Let's play Final Fantasy VIII, aka Let's Play Card Games.
Sans motorcycles. Because the joke needed to be made. Anyway, I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna be dropping in and out of this session because we're kind of cleaning the house. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You shouldn't be dropping in and out if you're kind of cleaning the house, only if you're really cleaning the house.
No, like, we've been doing it all day. The reason I had a chance to come inside and turn on my laptop was because my dad left to go buy things. But now he has returned.
You gasp.
Yes.
Anyway, this is probably the first time I've scheduled a recording session around a football match. And by football, I mean the sport that most of the world calls football.
So, in your sense, you mean soccer?
Yes.
Right.
Anyway, this is a card I could have gotten earlier. You can get it any time after the occupation of Balaam by the Galbadians is over. And that sort of makes sense because the card is Pandemona, which you can get right around that time.
Awesome.
Is a level 9 card.
That sounds fantabulous.
I don't think I've summoned Pandemona yet.
No,
I don't think you have.
That and Brothers. I definitely need to show the animation for Brothers, because that's by far the funniest summon animation.
Oh, is that the one you named for Father Spleen?
Yes.
Yes. That is the best animation.
Ever.
Yes.
You should do it for next session if you haven't done it this session.
Yeah, I just... It's not... It's a matter of remembering.
Well, that was easy.
Well, yes, Balaam has generally the easiest rules, because it only has the open rule. I will be talking about how to screw around with the rules to your advantage, because you really need to do that if you want to have any chance of getting all the cards without playing for many, many hours. Alright, so I'm missing only 4 level 9 cards now. I'm not sure...
I'm gonna nip off, so I'll be back later.
Okay.
Okey-doke.
I'm not sure how many cards total I'm missing at this point, but I know that by the end of the session I only have 5 to go.
That's good.
So many cards, and you still have them all.
Yeah. Anyway, one important thing to note, and I think I've said this before, if you are playing in an area where you like the rules, or if you come from another area to an area where you like the rules, then when you challenge someone and they suggest mixing rules, say no, and keep saying no until they just don't mention mixing rules. Then challenge them. In that way, you will avoid having undesirable rules spread to that region or desirable rules eliminated.
I see.
Actually, there's only one rule that really is helpful. Like, more often than it isn't. So I checked in the junk shop just to see whether I could get a new weapon for anyone. And the answer is no.
Healthy face.
And I need just one Inferno Fang for that. Oh, and a Sharp Spike. As H.C. Bailey would say, better than a sharp stick in the eye.
You know, I've been curious. Oh, here's the queen.
Yes, we will be seeing a lot of her in this session.
I wonder why that is.
Yes.
You know, I've been kind of curious, sorry for interrupting. I wonder, do they actually, I've heard in some places where people play Yu-Gi-Oh! They actually do make some counterfeit cards. That would be kind of screwed up if they did that in this world. Like, have counterfeit cards for these types of games.
I don't see why people wouldn't. I mean, what I've learned in my life and from, studying cases in law school is that generally if there's a way for some people to cheat without getting caught or where they think they won't get caught, then they will do it.
Of course.
Even if most people won't, some people will. Now, you may notice that I'm playing this card game rather stupidly. That's because I'm losing on purpose.
Okay.
Yes, you need to lose this specific card to her. The Minimob card.
Okay.
Now, once you've done that, talk to her normally, like with the X button. If she says she's going to Galbadia, you reset. Which is what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to use the soft reset, which I haven't had any practice using. In case people are wondering, I'm not sure if it's with all games or just this one, but the soft reset is you hold all 4 of the shoulder buttons and the select button, and then you press start.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did that, and I lost the Minimob to her again. If she says she's going toward Dalit, do not reset. Save. And exactly. And I'm trying to monkey with the rules here. Because as we all know, there is one rule in Dalit we really, really don't want. And I have to say that what took up most of my time, maybe not most of my recording time, but most of the time I was playing, recording and not recording, was trying to get rid of the random rule in Dalit.
That's understandable.
Now, here's what you do if you want to get rid of a rule in a card game. You have to go to... Okay, first of all, keep in mind that you cannot get rid of all of the rules in any specific region. There has to be at least one rule in play in every region. So if the only rule in play is one that you don't want, then you have to go and spread another rule. If there is also another rule there that you don't care about or that you want, then you can try to get rid of it. So you have to go and play a game somewhere where there's at least one rule that is not in effect in the area where you want to get rid of a rule. Then you have to, when someone offers to mix rules, you say yes. If another rule gets spread, or another rule... Basically, if the rules change in a way you don't want, reset. If they stop offering to mix rules, reset. If neither of those things happens, challenge them again.
Woo! Challenge!
So at this point, I'm just thinking, okay, because the open rule was getting spread like every time I tried mixing rules in Dalit, so I'm thinking, alright, is there any chance that I could get a different rule? Like, in that case, I was going with Sudden Death from Fisherman's Horizon, and seeing if maybe that spread less often. And Random didn't get abolished, instead Open got abolished. Again, Open is probably the rule you want.
It seems a lot more strategy to this game than just playing the cards. You actually now have to think about what rules you don't want, what rules would work out the best. There's a lot to this game.
Well, this particular location, Dalit, so I stopped here because I heard that noise that meant Angelo had learned a new trick, so I wanted to make sure he was going to learn another one. By the way, it's a good thing that I had Rinoa in my party for all of this, because it's only when she's in your party that Angelo learns tricks.
So no one else, if no one else is in the party, he can't learn tricks.
No, what I'm saying is how quickly he learns tricks depend on the number of steps you take with Rinoa in your party.
And this is again.
Well, yes. There's another option that you can use when she's in Dalit. I'm getting some background noise from somewhere.
It's not me, I don't have anyone.
Might be my mum talking to my little brother, sorry. Are you still getting it?
There was just a loud noise. And yeah, I'm still hearing. Anyway, if you didn't know what card she wanted... By the way, yeah, I should have said, what determines when she moves around is whenever you lose a rare card to her or win a rare card from her, she will move.
Okay.
And her next destination is determined semi-randomly.
Okay.
There's a she may be in any of 8 different places, and she'll usually give you a clue where she's going next. She says Dalit, she means the pub. She says Galbadia, she means, actually, I don't know. I don't know a lot of these locations, because the quickest way to do this is to shuttle her between Balaam and Dalit. Anyway, this is her son, and if you lose a rare card to her that she wants, like the Minimog card in this case, he will get that card immediately. So you can get back all of the rare cards that you lose to her as part of the quest. If you lose a rare card to her, like, other than one of those, then you have to win it back from her the normal way. And I actually discovered that you can look, if there is a rare card that you have had at one point and then lost, you can look in the card menu, and you can,
See who has it?
not who has it, but where it is. And I think I'm just showing that this guy has the rare cards. I don't actually win this game. It's difficult because of a stupid random rule.
Party thieves. Oh, you're back here.
Yes, this is essentially a clip show. That's how much I've edited this. I should say the first hour or so is a clip show. The last half hour or so is not so much.
Okay.
No, at least you're not, like, I was expecting them to show maybe the story so far, like, this happened, and then this happened, and then that happened, oh my god, that happened too!
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't get the random, can't get rid of the random rule anywhere. So how the Queen of Cards quest really works is when you lose one of those cards to her, and then she winds up in Dalit. Ideally, you want her to be just going between Balaam and Dalit.
I see.
Anyway, she will give that card to her father, who will then make a new card. In this case, it's the Kyros card.
Wondering if I get one of him.
Yes, there are 5 cards that you get through this side quest.
Awesome.
And eventually you have to lose to her a card that you got through this quest, because that's one of the ones she wants. Which makes no sense. She's like, oh yes, my father can make a wonderful new card based on this card. It's like, but he had the card already. Why didn't he just do it then?
Sweet man.
Not only did he have it, he made it.
Do you think he can make another one?
I suppose he paints them all by hand, and that's why there's only one.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway, the rules here are not too tough. I think same is the only one in effect, which is not hard to counter if you have a bunch of cards with really high numbers that the opponent doesn't have.
Well,
So... Oh, okay, I know what I'm doing now. I'm getting a certain rather important but optional item
ooh.
that you can get at Tier's Point. And I'm getting stuck on the spaceship.
Hi.
Yes, Odin came in at a certain point later in this session to make things a lot easier for me. And I
It's
got
so
it.
weird to see Odin pop up and then just leave without even saying, hey, how you doing?
Well, do you expect them to spend several minutes in conversation every time?
Well, that happens. Do they actually, the summons of Final Fantasy, ever even have anything to do with the story? I know a few of them do, but not a lot.
I know if you do it 10.
In Final Fantasy X, the summons are a very large part of the story.
Yeah, but that's... it just seems so weird.
And in 13 they do as well, I think.